Hello! So in today's video I'm going to be doing a book review of A Deathtrap by Cameron Rubecki. I probably said that wrong. Obviously I'll put the name, the author's name in the title and description. But I finished this book recently and thought I would do a review. This is a horror book. I would describe it as like a 80s slasher. It's set literally in 1980 on New Year's Eve, and the setting is a Rockerville roller disco rink. And yeah, this book, I picked it up because this author's book, Kill River, I'd seen going around on YouTube last year and I was really interested in it. But when I went to look it up on Amazon, this book also popped up by this author and it just sounded really good to me. So I asked my parents to get it for me for Christmas and they did. And yeah, I recently read it and I really enjoyed it. This book, like I said, it reminded me of those kind of like cheesy 80s slasher films, which I really like. So I pretty much knew I would like this when I picked it up. And the writing style I really enjoyed. I saw a few comments on Goodreads saying that they thought this book was slow to build up because it doesn't really get into the main gore and action pretty much until you're halfway through the book. However, for me, and I'm not a person who likes slow books, I get bored of books very easily and end up DNFing them. So if a book doesn't like grab my attention from the first few chapters, then that's kind of it. So with this book, although like I said it didn't really get into the gore until about halfway in the story, I still really enjoyed it because the way the writing was and the description of the setting, it was just very enjoyable. So like I said, it's set in the 80s on New Year's Eve, and it centres around a bunch of high school kids are going to have a lock-in in this roller rink. So it starts off with all the characters getting onto the school bus and travelling to the roller rink, and you're getting a real sense of the atmosphere. There's like a heavy snowstorm going on, and yeah, it kind of gives you, even though obviously it's not set on Halloween, it's set on like New Year's Eve, it gives you that kind of like creepy Halloween-y cold kind of vibes. And yeah, so they're on their way to this roller rink and then you're getting introduced to all the different characters, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I really liked the description. You know, he talks about the disco and the music and all the 80s roller rink and stuff. I've never been to a roller rink. I don't know if we even have them here in the UK. I have been to some ice skating rinks in the past as a kid, but yeah, I just really like the description of the settings, and the characters were quite interesting. And then yeah, when it does get into the action, it is quite gory. And again, I saw a little bit of criticism in general. It got good reviews in general on Goodreads, but I did say the people who did criticise this book preferred Kill River. So I'm definitely going to pick up Kill River because I think I'm really going to like that if I loved this. And what was I saying? I've totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, in terms of the gore, they said that was kind of gorier, but I thought this was actually quite gory. You know, when the kids start getting killed off and you don't know who is the killer, and yeah, it is pretty gruesome. And you know how the kids kind of disperse and you kind of follow several different groups of children as they're trying to escape the roller rink, but obviously they're locked in and they're trying to find a way out. Yeah, it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I'll give this a 4 out of 5, and the reason why I give it a 4 and not a 5 is just because when I found out who the killer was, I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, oh really? Like, the backing story of why they did it and everything was fine, but just when I found out who it was, I was like, just a little bit of disappointment. I wish it could have been someone else or something a bit different. I don't know, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed by the killer. Like, it did make sense and everything. I was just a bit like, when I found out who it was. But because I'd thoroughly enjoyed the story up until then, and like I said, I loved the setting, I loved the feel of it. I'm still going to give it a 4 star because yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend. I'm definitely going to pick up Kill River. I think there's a few in that series. I know there's Kill River, and then I think there's Kill River 2 by this author. So I'm definitely going to pick these up. If I, you know, I like this, I think I'm going to like them too. I really like his writing style, and yeah, I like the cover too. It's like those, like I said, just reminds me of like you know, older horror books with that kind of like 80s style. We got the disco ball there with the skull, and then yeah, the roller skates with the blood. So yeah, I highly recommend. And if you've read Kill River and enjoyed that, I recommend trying this one out. Yeah, really positive review from me. It kind of reminded me, like I said, of 80s slasher films, but also like point horror, but more adult, more graphic and more adult. And like I said, I really like the writing style of this. So yeah, really good review from me. If you've read this, then let me know your thoughts down below. But overall, yeah, a positive review. So as always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments down below, or if you have any horror book recommendations for me, leave them down below. And yeah, as always, until next time, thank you for watching. Bye guys.